Hello, I welcome you to this session of Python programming. In this particular session, I'm going to have a review of the work that we have covered so far. So, as we discussed that there is no explicit, need to mention the data types in Python as it picks up the data types automatically. So, there are the following data types, the standard data types are there in Python: int, float, string, and boolean. We have worked with, I think, int, float, and string. So, let's discuss this boolean function. Let's go to the Python interpreter, and if I write here false, then this is false is printed. Okay, if I write true, so these false and true are of type boolean. So if I try to return the type of false, so it will return as the class bool. Similarly, type true would return bool. Okay, so and remember, it should not be written like this. It should be written like with a F capital and a T capital. If you write this false, then it does not understand what it is. And we also discussed this the input function and the eval function. So if we need to input a value into our code, then we can take the help of input function, which takes this form where we have a variable equal to input, an optional message, so when you run this, then the message is printed, and whatever value you type here, say you type here 19, that gets stored in this variable. So if you print it, it prints 19, but see that it has printed it as a string. So if you check the type of this variable, then it will return string. That means whatever you input from the keyboard using the input statement, it is taken up as a string. For you to convert it into different types, you need to use certain functions. So obviously those functions would be int, float, string, and so on. But there is an intelligent eval function which can help you with your inputs. So if I need to input the value 19 as an integer, I can modify this statement like this. I can either convert it to an integer. So if I run it now, and if I try to check the type of the variable, it is int. Similarly, if I repeat this statement here and I pick this up, convert it into a float, then obviously the type would be float. Now, if I wish that this should be done automatically by the Python interpreter, then what I can do is I can use instead of this float, I can use the eval function. Okay, so now if I run here and give 9, so it will automatically pick the type as integer. And again, if I run it and give the value as 23.67, and if I check the type, then obviously it will pick up float. That means eval will automatically take care of the value. So if you enter an integer value, it is taken as an integer. If you enter a float value, it's taken as a float, and so on. Okay. Then we discussed the print function and the end argument. So let me just start this Python interpreter again so that we have a clear screen here. So if I want to print something, I can use the print statement. This message is printed, and if I need to print some variable, say I need to print both these variables, so I can do like this: print A, then I can give some space and I can print B. Okay, so this is the way you print, and I can also attach messages with the values. So this is the way that you can use your print statement, and we'll discuss this end argument in a program that we are going to write. So remember that these data types are there, but you need not, mention them explicitly. So let me write a program for you now. Let us write a program. So how to write a program? You go to File, then a new file, and here you can start writing your program. You can start with a comment. So program to print area of a rectangle. We'll write this program. So obviously we need to input the values of length and breadth. So let me just input the value of length using the eval function. So enter length. Yeah, I need to write the input also. So sometimes you don't get the requisite speed that you want. So enter length and breadth. So in the variables, yeah, I need to finish it here. I need to finish it here. We have copied the wrong way, I suppose. So let me just type it again. Oh, yes, we can do like this. Now it seems to be okay. We need a B here. So we can write area equal to L star B. I can also calculate the perimeter as 2 star L plus B. Okay. And then I can print, say, area, and I can also print the perimeter. I think everything is fine. So let me first run this. If I try to run it, obviously it will ask me to save. So I can give it some name, say area 1. Let's give it the name. So when it is executed, it will ask for the length. Let me give us 10, breadth 10. So you can see area 100 and perimeter 40. Now, if I wish that both the outputs should be in the same line, I discussed in the previous video also that you can use here an end separator, an end argument here, mentioning what space you want between these two on the same line. So I've mentioned it like this. So now both the outputs should be in the same line. So if I run it again, so both the outputs are there in the same line. So that is how you can use this uh, end argument in a function. So one more review we can do. I can just close this, and to run this program, this is a file area1.py. So I can simply import it. So import area1.py, or simply import area1. So importing it for the first time would run it. Okay, but if I try to import it again, nothing happens, because we discussed that import statement works once per session. Okay, and if we need to run it multiple number of times, then obviously we can use the reload statement. And one more thing we discussed, that the Python code is first compiled into bytecodes. To see the bytecode file, what we need to do is, for example, the bytecode of this file area1, if I need to see it, I can go to this default folder, that is Python 3.7, which is on C drive, and then look for a folder underscore underscore pycache underscore underscore. If I double click on this, okay, then I need to see here all files. Okay, so here is this file, the compiled Python file, that is the bytecode of the program that I've just written. Okay, and it is always created once you import the program. Once you import your module or your program file, only then this bytecode is visible out here. Otherwise it is not visible here. It is created, but it is not visible. Okay, so I think that is regarding review. We can write another program using the math module. Let's write another program. So let me go to file, new file. So I can write here program using math module. Okay, So obviously I first, so to be on a use it in a simpler mode, I can write here from math import star. Now this would help me to simply write the functions without prefixing them with the word math, because I'm importing everything from the math module, all the attributes, all the functions. So if I now want to say find the square root, so I can write a program here, say enter a number, and maybe I can find the square root of this number, and then I can print that square root. So I can write something like this: square root of a is b. Okay, so let's run it. Let's save it as proc22, right? So it will prompt you for a number. You can give, say, 75 as the number, and obviously it will tell you that square root of 75 is this. Okay. Now you can also format this value to the number of decimal places that you wish. It could be a revision of your formatting. So here you can write format b, comma, say 11.3f. The format statement that we learned should be working out here. So let's run it. Let's give the value as 75 again, and you can see now that square root of 75 is 8.660. Now there is a lot of space here. It's simply because we have mentioned bigger this 11.3 here. So maybe I can mention, or maybe I can, yeah, it's because of this. So maybe smaller this thing I can give. That is how you can, see how you can. So it has moved that much closer. So that is how you can work with formats. You can also give it an exponential format. Okay, let's try an exponential format. Say 12.3e. Let's see how it behaves with this. So let me give the number again as 75. So you see that this now has come as 8.66 into 10 raised to power 0. Okay, so that is how you can mention the scientific notation in Python in formatting. So that's all for this review lecture, and in my next lecture I'll be discussing the concept of operators with you. Thank you.